bet you couldn't have imagined you'd have to wait this long after beating Ireland in 2018 to finally break the record. Now it's almost here tomorrow. How are you feeling?
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. Like you said, it's been a long time coming. Did not expect to wait this long, so it makes it a bit sweeter. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it.
What's that wait been like? I mean, there's been a lot going on in the world for the last 3 or 4 years to distract you, but I suppose when you get to 30, you're thinking in 12 months' time or whatever it might be, or less than that, you're going to get it out. Has it been quite difficult to get your head around, frustrating, I imagine?
A little frustrating, not difficult. I think with everything that went on within COVID, I think not playing or training for 3 months or 4 months, you're certainly not thinking about international duty. Then you're just focused on what's going on at the minute. And after COVID, and then obviously the complications that come with the travel and stuff like that, it was certainly frustrating but understandable. I'm just glad it's all over now. You can play international rugby and finally pull on that jersey again.
This week felt any different to previous international weeks? Has the sort of the significance of tomorrow made it feel any different for you?
Not particularly, to be honest. Because it's been that long, it's just so good to be back in camp with the lads. Obviously, a good core of us have been together now for over, me and Elliot played together over 10 years. Ben, Rhys, Walks, played with Dalton at London. So it's good to be amongst all the lads again. It's good to see so many of the young lads coming through. There's going to be a lot of first caps, so buzzing for all the lads getting their first caps. It just feels strange thinking mine was 14 years ago now. But yeah, it's been nice getting all the messages and all the well wishes, it's been nice. But just been focusing on the rugby, to be honest.
Thinking back to that first cap, what do you remember about that first call-up? You'd obviously played at age group representative level, and I think you scored something like 7 tries in a tournament, hadn't you, for the under-19s, then the first team senior call-up came. What do you remember when you got that first call-up to the senior team?
Quite shocked. I can remember playing pretty well in the under-18s in Prague. I was with Warrington at the time and saw an advert for the international game for Wales v England, and just thought, it'd be good to watch that. And then to get the call up, I was shocked, but pleased to just being in and around the lads. Thinking I'd just go into camp just for some experience and didn't expect to play. So to play and get my first cap, more just shock and elation, to be honest. Thrilled, but it wasn't a great game, and it was a big lesson in international rugby. But yeah, it was great to get my first cap.
Does that feeling ever change, walking out for Wales, standing there singing the national anthem? Has it changed across as your perspective on life changes as you get older, but does anything change about that for you?
No, not at all. Just each and every time, just immensely proud. Welsh born and raised, and your dream is to play for Wales. So to do that and to do it for the record number of times, and more than anything, just my time over Wales. It's always been a good group of lads. Right from my debut to now, and that's the biggest thing is the culture within the group of lads. It'd be a lot harder to come and play for your country when that's not in place. Whereas all the lads just want to come into camp and put the right foot forward. So over the years, just Ian Watson and John James, the guys I'm taking the record from. JJ was my first ever roommate. He was a great bloke, and Watson has obviously gone from being my teammate to he was a player coach at Swinton while I was on dual reg there, to then being my boss at Salford and taking us to a Challenge Cup final. So I can't say enough good things about them as people. So just pleased to have played with so many great people for Wales over the years. Yeah.
You've won 3 European Championships, played in 2 World Cups. Is there a particular highlight game or anything from those 14 years? You mentioned about being in camp, but in terms of the matches themselves, is there anything that sticks out in your mind for what might be a completely personal reason?
The year we won it to go into the Four Nations, obviously. I think we won the European Cup the year before, when Jessen's first year, and it was a really good year. And it kind of, I don't know if we took ourselves by surprise a little. We ended up going really well in that tournament, and then the year after to back it up, which is always tougher. And then I think we went to Albi, France away, and Lloydie kicked a penalty to win it in the last couple of minutes, and it was a real big occasion to obviously get into the Four Nations, and I just remember that being a really big occasion, and I think I had a mohawk at the time. It was big celebrations, good night out, really good squad. Yeah, it was a big one.
Asked Ian Golden, there's not much he doesn't know about Wales Rugby League, and he mentioned that he scored the opening try against Australia in that Four Nations. I watched the highlights, and Elliott scored the second on the other wing. That's leading the Aussies is that must be another quite a memorable occasion because it was in Wrexham as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's in Wrexham, so in my birthplace, and I live fairly close by, and all my friends and family are there. And that being the last game of the year, I just remember being very heavily strapped up. I think I had my eye done 2 weeks before. I think I ruptured my oblique the week before against New Zealand. So going into the game, yeah, feel a lot of pain. And remember speaking to Brizzy before the game when you were saying we're going to first good ball set, we're going to nudge it through. Doesn't matter what side it's on, so just be prepared. And I remember thinking that going, there's a chance here. And luckily it came on my side. I remember scoring, being thrilled, went to celebrate, and it was just in too much pain. I couldn't actually sort of elongate my body. It was just in so much pain, so I was just like, right, just crawl back into my ribs and get back in the line for the kickoff. But yeah, that's my main thought was I was just in so much pain in that game. It was just the last one of the season where it was grit your teeth and get through it, and it was very much that.
I did just watch when Ian reminded me about that. I watched it again. I thought that's quite a muted celebration for someone who's taken the leave. It all makes sense.
Just in so much pain.
Try scoring. You're the record try scorer. You're going to take the cap record tomorrow. You're going to captain your country tomorrow. That the third thing, being the captain of your country, leading Wales out tomorrow. How are you feeling about that?
Just immensely proud. I think I'm more focused on the rugby, and that's the way I've always been. So it's probably not quite dawned on me as much as it probably would. I'm very much just looking forward to playing. I think post game, I think I'll sit and reflect, and it's going to be nice to have 2 records for my country, captain the country, lead the boys out. It's going to be a nice feeling after it, but before a game I'm very much chilled out and focused on what's coming ahead, and that's the way it should be. But yeah, it's going to be a proud moment for me and my family.
I suppose it's fitting that the venue you're doing that is one of your favourite memories for Wales then here in Albi. So what more do you want to achieve in a Welsh shirt? You've got records that you've got to yourself already, and there's a World Cup at the end of the year. What's perhaps on the to-do list or the wish list in a Welsh shirt?
Not too sure, to be honest. Obviously, with the World Cup coming ahead, it's just obviously, it's good that we're having a mid-season international, and there's not a new lads in and around, so it's important that we're gelling as a team, getting to know each other, and putting ourselves in the right sort of place for the World Cup. So in terms of just getting ready for the World Cup, that's pretty much it. Even the other records, they just kind of popped up at the time, and I wasn't focused on them or chasing them. They just kind of happened. So very much just not looking after the World Cup, to be honest.
A few sort of quick fire ones, then put you on the spot. The best player you've played with in a Welsh shirt?
Lee Breers.
What was it about him that made him the one that comes to the top of your mind?
Just cool, calm, relaxed. You could see the big difference in him. I played with him at Warrington, obviously, and he's obviously an incredible player. But when he came to play for Wales, and obviously Warrington had big, massive names at the time, and everyone knew the job. And when it's not quite that case come Wales, he was just so good at getting people to do the job, and obviously very good at doing his job. So yeah, probably Lee.
You've touched on the most memorable game. Is there your most memorable try? What would you put that down?
I can't think off the top of my head. There's not too many. You kind of erase them from the memory when they happen. I have no idea off the top of my head. Sorry.
Right, no worries. I did say we were going to put you on the spot. The best roommate you've had?
I think Elliott's been my roommate for going on about 8 years now. So I wouldn't call him a good roommate because I pretty much have to keep getting him awake for meetings and stuff like that. So I think he'd be lost without me. So I'll say Elliot, but I wouldn't put him down in the best category.
Mad, so the next question, obviously, from best roommate is the worst roommate you've had. Does he tick both boxes then?
I think he does tick both boxes, which is quite a good stat for him.
This is another one probably would do well if you could come up with something on the spot on this, but any player from Welsh Rugby League history who you would have liked to have played with? Perhaps someone you watched growing up, or no, it's likely to be someone you watched growing up, or is there anyone in particular you wish, I'd love to walk onto the field and played with them?
Probably Jiffy, Jonathan Davis. I think he was a little bit before my era, but watching videos of him playing rugby union and rugby league, he was just, it was such an incredible talent. And I can remember speaking to Andrew Johns when we were on a pre-season camp in, I think it was in Tenerife, and he was speaking about Jiffy and just how good he was. And for him to say that, he's obviously a big name, so probably Jiffy.